Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on Bitcoin. Right now we're at $5,271.99. We are up 0.86%. You guys, we're going to dig into some bullish things, some bearish things that I've been seeing. And what I'm noticing on charts, we're getting a lot of mixed indicators in a lot of ways, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, is just go through it with you. We're going to formulate a plan, and then you make your own decision which way you're going to play this market, or what you've been doing, or if you're sitting in cash, things like that. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So if you like what we do here, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me today, and we're going to get into this. So what I wanted to do today on the one-day chart here, so we're on the 1 day, I wanted to step back and really take a look at this pattern and what's been forming. So guys, we're at a tough spot right now, and the reason why I say that is this red line here, this is that strong overhead resistance. So since about February 4th is when we came down, hit this $6,000 level, and since then, so about February 2nd, February 4th, 2018, all the way till we had that massive breakdown November 10th, 2018, we were hitting the $6,000 range, and it was acting as support. And what we were forming was that descending triangle, lower highs and that flat horizontal bottom, and then we ended up breaking down and we lost about 50%. It was a huge break, absolutely monstrous break. And what I'm seeing here is we're running up and we're getting close to this area again, but we're getting close to this area with a lot of oversold indicators, and I'm going to go through some of those with you. And to me, for us to really have a good shot at getting up over this, $5,800 to $6,000 range, we really need to have significant volume come in, and I feel as though we need to back test that 200-day moving average again, really find a nice strong bounce off that. That would be something that could potentially get us up over top of that. Right now it's kind of hard when some of your indicators, you're overbought, and then you're trying to get through one of the most significant overhead resistances in Bitcoin history. And if you're just going by the books and playing it like that, guys, you wouldn't think that we would make it up much higher than we are right now without a nice decent retracement, power back up, a nice higher low, and continue to move higher. But in cryptocurrency, it being the wild, wild west, sometimes, the textbook can say one thing and everybody's seeing one thing, and a whale can step in at the most unexpected time and push the market up, and we could blast right through that 6,000 when everyone thought, that could be huge overhead resistance. Here comes a whale and says that's not the case. We blast over top of it, we pull back onto it, we consolidate on it, we continue to move forward. That very well could happen. I'm just showing you some of the indicators and the things that I'm seeing. So first of all, we have this red overhead resistance that we're running up to. We basically almost wicked up to it, had a little pullback, guys, trying back up again. And I will zoom in on this stuff, but I'm just really stepping back and taking a look at this right now. The next thing that I wanted to point out to you, we do have the volume profile that is going down at the moment right now, and I wanted to show you this as well. So we're going to go into the RSI right now, and I want to show this to you. So we're going to start adding these things up together, and I got a piece of paper here. I'm going to do it with you. So right now we're at 69.3. So for the RSI, we're in that overbought territory. 70 is overbought in a traditional market. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to, is are we going to be going much higher right now, already in that overbought condition, which you can see up here, we can't really overextend. We can get up to into the 90s, but each time we do that, it's really quick, and then we fall back down here. We had a little bit more of a pause up there, then we fell back down. So I'm taking a look at that, and I'm saying, all right, so this is a little bit more in the bearish camp, looking like we do need that pullback or that retracement. And what I'm also paying attention to is this trend line right here. This is just a rough one for you guys, but I want to see if we continue to get bounces off that or not, right around in there. And if it's not perfect, I apologize, guys, but you get what I'm looking at there. So we want to see if those are intact. If we start breaking down through that, then most likely we'll come back and back test that 200-day moving average. So RSI, a little more bearish right there, right? But we do have a bullish case that we are keeping these higher lows, and we've been getting bounces off that trend line. All right, so that's kind of a mixed bag right there. The next one I wanted to show you was the NVT. Let me pull this up. All right. So each time when we really get oversold and up in the red, right in here, you'll see a big drop, a fall down. And even up in here, we got up again right here. And then you can see that big retracement that we had, and that showed a pullback. And then in here, we were just kind of traveling sideways. That was before that big break. And then we dropped down, and now we're kind of up in that area again. And that will happen when you have a $1,000 candle come in. That's something that's very significant, guys. And that's why I said, maybe we do need a little bit more of a retracement, but we're going to have to see. So NVT now. And remember, we're just writing all this stuff down. We're going to put this in the bearish camp. So bearish. And we'll just add them all up at the end. So right now we have the RSI and the NVT. They're more in the bearish category. All right, next one I want to go to is our MACD. Take a look at that. I think it's important to use a lot of different indicators as well. Not too many, guys. We're using 30 or 40 of them, anything like that. But I like to use about 6 or 7. And these are the ones that I do like to use that I'm showing with you here. All right, so on the MACD, we did have this cross to the downside, but it's looking like it almost wants to flatten out a little bit. So we're going to have to keep our eye on that. We do have that cross to the downside, so we have to put that more in the bearish camp. And we had a histogram tick to the negative there, but it's almost looking like it's turning white there, so a little bit more neutral. So what we would say for this MACD, we're going to put it in the bearish to a little bit more neutral, maybe moving into the neutral category. So let's write that one down. And this is how I formulate plans, guys. I'm doing today like I do it for myself. I go through here and I say, you know what, before I make any trade, this is what's happening. This is what's going on with all these different indicators. So let's do bearish to neutral for the MACD. All right, next one I want to go to is the stock RSI. And this is a little bit faster moving one, but it's a very good indicator. So with the stock RSI, it looks like we have room to run to the upside. You see, that's what we're getting. That's why I said we're kind of getting mixed signals here, because here it looks like we crossed to the upside. Now we're going to start moving to the upside on the 1 day for the stock. So we got to put that in the bullish camp. Let's put bullish there. So there's definitely room for that to run. Let's see. Another thing that I wanted to show you was we potentially have a golden cross that's taking place. Zoom in here. So we're going to get in a little bit closer here. And remember, we're still on the 1 day chart. All right. So also, the reason why I was talking about this 200-day moving average, we have not properly back tested yet. We had a $1,000 candle blast right through it, and then we continued to move to the upside. We hit a shooting star candle right here. We came back down, and now we're trying to bounce back up and see if we can get over top of this high. We're going to have to see, and we're going to have to pay attention to it. But we have not properly back tested this 200-day moving average. So keep your eye on that. But the golden cross that I was looking at is we have in blue our 50 moving average moving over top of our 100-day moving average. So that golden cross has taken place. And now it looks like this 50-day moving average is wanting to cross over the 200-day moving average, which would be nice. But we're not there yet. We're going to have to wait and see if we do cross off that or we kiss off it and start to fall back down. But that's something that I want to pay attention to. So we have to put these golden crosses in moving averages. We're up above all of them, so we have to put that in the bullish camp. All right, so bullish there. And also this 20-day moving average. This has been very good. You can see how we've had it as support here and back here. We were treating it as overhead resistance. We have not came back and back tested this since we really blasted up off there, and that's going to be around that, let's see, 49.35, guys. So it's still bullish that we're holding that, but we're going to have to see if we continue to hold that as support. So we're going to put that in the bullish camp as well. And then with the decreasing volume pattern there, we're going to have to put that a little bit more bearish. But remember, when volume starts to fall off or tail off or get smaller, you can break to the upside or the downside. So I want you to be aware of that. But this is what the candles are looking like here. So you can see our red line that we've had, and that was all those touches back there for almost a year or whatnot, guys. And you see what I'm talking about, how we've made this really strong move up to here. We came back here. Don't you think it would be hard from this little area with this is all the retracement you've had after a $1,000 candle to make it back up over top of this shooting star candle and then up above the strongest resistance that you've ever had in Bitcoin history? You know, you got to put that into perspective. Can a whale step in and knock us to the upside? Absolutely. That can happen so fast. It might not even make sense, but it can move us to the upside. But you also do have to put these things on your side that, you know, we haven't even truly back tested this 200-day moving average, and that usually always happens. You'll break up, and then you'll back test it, and you'll find support off it, you'll get good volume off it, and then you continue that move to the upside. So, you know, these are just a few things that I'm looking at, but what I was looking at here, guys, on my paper, so we have not properly back tested the 200-day moving average. We have the red line overhead resistance. The NVT is overbought, so that's in bearish category. The RSI is overbought around that 69. It was 69.3, so around that 70. So that's a little more bearish, but we are holding those higher lows for the uptrend on that. So we are still holding that trend line. So that we got to put in the bear or the bullish camp. That's something that is good that's taking place. We have not broken that trend line yet. We're up above the 20 EMA, which is bullish. The golden cross that we're looking for right here, the 50 over the 200, and we got the 50 over the 100, so that's a good thing with the moving averages. We have decreasing volume right now, which is more that bearish to neutral. We're going to have to see what happens. The stock RSI is more bullish, and the MACD is more bearish. Bearish to neutral with that histogram tick. So, you know, guys, just keep your eye on this. Really pay attention. You know, could we continue up to the upside and test this? Yes. And that's what we could do from here. Also, we could come up and test it, fail there, and then start our back test and then move higher. So with these trends, you always want them. They start out short term, then we go to that intermediate term, then we go to that longer term trend. So, guys, this is what I was paying attention to. Also, look at this 0.618 we've been talking about for a long time here. I know many of you have seen it. So we've done this. We actually hit that 0.618 right there. We're running into it right now, and we really want to pay attention to that to see if we can close up above that, which would be a good sign to maybe come up and test this red line here, or if we close below and maybe we're going to get pushed back down and back test this 20-day EMA. So those are some of my thoughts, guys. I hope you like how I did that. I was just kind of letting you in. Normally, I don't do that and write stuff down at the same time while I'm doing the video, but I just want to show you the way that I like to do this formulated plan and say, okay, you know, maybe this is a good spot even right now to be in cash, being neutral, see what happens, you know. So you want to plan to the upside, you want to plan to the downside, and you always want to plan to the sideways. We can always go sideways a little bit as well. So if you like these videos, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll try to bring them to you the best I can. I'm going to try to get out a Digibyte video next, hopefully, so look out for that, and also look out for the tutorials in the playlist. God bless you, my friends.